Democrats and Republicans are uniting to save the mental health of Americans. Their cure of choice? Psychedelics. Team America, get your party hats. These drugs might be coming to a pharmacy near you.
Like my local CVS?
Not so much your local CVS, but your local MedMen. You know, just like cannabis.
Cool. Taboo News Tuesday!
For the first time ever, the Food and Drug Administration has issued a guide for designing clinical trials to investigate the use of psychedelics to treat medical conditions. The FDA defines psychedelics as LSD and Psilocybin, which is the active ingredient in magic mushrooms. These substances act on the brain's serotonin system. It also includes MDMA, better known on the street as Molly or ecstasy, which are empathogens. That just means that they promote emotional openness and communication. Nearly 250 psychedelic-related clinical trials are now underway.
Interesting. I know that marijuana is becoming illegal in more and more states all the time, but has the FDA ever done something like this before with, party drugs?
Well, the FDA previously approved the use of ketamine, which has hallucinogenic properties, to treat depression. And actually, if you drive around Los Angeles, you'll probably see some of these ketamine infusion clinics. I know a few people who say that ketamine-assisted therapy is the only thing that's ever helped them with lifelong depression. These people are not alone. Look, America is struggling with a mental health crisis. According to a 2019 survey by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 25% of American adults suffer from mental health disorders. In 2021, the CDC reported over 48,000 deaths by suicide. In 2022, that number jumped even higher to over 49,000. With diseases of despair on the rise, it's no wonder people are turning to alternative treatments to alleviate their suffering.
So these are fun drugs. So, that's going to lead to a lot of people just going to get prescriptions so that they can, take them to a party, right?
Yeah, probably eventually. That's how cannabis legalization started in California. It was originally used for medical purposes, and now it's recreational as well.
So how does the government officially feel about this?
Well, surprisingly, some members of Congress acknowledge the potential of psychedelics to tackle the country's mental health problems. This includes Democrats, some of them are even in the Biden administration, and a few Republicans. But don't get too excited because, of course, there is a partisan battle over sections of a House Appropriations bill regarding psychedelic research at the Department of Veterans Affairs, with Democrats supporting and the GOP opposing.
I thought that was going to happen.
Still, the government's stance on psychedelics appears to be shifting. In 2021, the government gave a grant to Johns Hopkins School of Medicine to study psilocybin for tobacco addiction. That study proved that psychedelics can successfully treat medical and psychological disorders. Maybe if elected officials take psychedelics, they'll get along more,
No, I don't believe it. You'll still have that guy good people don't smoke psychedelics. What is that? Who is that guy?
Good people don't smoke marijuana.
Are they smoking psychedelics?
He'll think that they are.
This drug is dangerous. You cannot play with it. It's not funny. It's not something to laugh about.
Ketamine, DMT, and microdosing for all.
Maybe that's what the whole country needs. A big powwow.
Oh my God, if we all just microdose together, could you imagine what we could accomplish?
I'll do that with my parents to start with. They'd finally understand what I'm talking about, maybe.
I'd actually pay to see that. As for support among civilians, a new national poll by UC Berkeley finds that the majority of registered American voters support legalizing therapeutic and prescription access to psychedelics to treat things like post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, substance abuse, anxiety, eating disorders, and more.
So what about agencies like the Drug Enforcement Agency? Do you think that they're going to be cool with this, transition? This is kind of a big deal, isn't it, for them?
It is a big deal for them.
They've had the whole war on drugs for decades and decades, right? My whole life.
Yeah, absolutely. Under federal law, you're right, psychedelics are illegal and they are classified as Schedule I substances by the Drug Enforcement Agency. But this year, the DEA made history when approving an application to grow magic mushrooms in the name of academic research at the University of Ohio. And back in 2017, the FDA fast-tracked phase 3 clinical trials for MDMA to treat people suffering from PTSD. Now, that trial was conducted by the nonprofit Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies, better known as MAPS. MAPS found that 88% of participants with PTSD experienced a reduction of symptoms, and 2/3 of participants were cured, despite suffering for an average of 14 years. The FDA agrees that the novel treatment may have a meaningful advantage over available prescriptions like Zoloft. Now, Zoloft is the most prescribed pharmaceutical drug for PTSD, and it has a success rate that's just over a coin toss, a little bit over 50%. Veterans are also lobbying Congress to support psychedelic research.
So do you think that the government is starting to realize that there's more money to be made from legalizing certain drugs than the traditional war on drugs? Is that what's breaking the taboo?
I don't know if that's what's breaking it, but yes, there's absolutely a buttload of money that can be made from this. I mean, if you just look at the cannabis market, here in California, we're doing pretty well because of the cannabis sales, and I believe the government is actually able to put some of that money back into programs that help people in California.
Think how much more money they can make from LSD.
Yeah, Magic mushrooms. While psychedelics are illegal at the federal level, state and local legislatures are pushing for psychedelic reforms. Colorado and Oregon have already decriminalized psychedelic mushrooms. Here in California, officials are working to add an initiative to the 2024 ballot aimed at legalizing the possession, sale, and regulated therapeutic use of psilocybin. Utah and Missouri also have proposals calling to study psychedelics before potentially legalizing them for medical use.
So they're angling this as an alternative to things like Zoloft.
Yes, which means that the pharmaceutical companies are going to probably jump on this as soon as they can.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they can make that money. Psychedelics are widely considered ancient medicine and have been used throughout history by people all around the globe. It's super exciting to see what new treatments may emerge during this new phase of research. For my next taboo topic, click the box right here and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'm Brigida.
All right, that's a wrap. Can you believe we just did that whole episode high?
Oh my God, do you think we sold it?
Psychedelics are legal. Let's go get some. Taboo!